Hey Carl, listen to this new voice package I just got installed in the helmet. Alright, you ready?
It takes two to tango.
How about this one?
I have a lovely bunch of coconuts.
Alright, one more.
There's a big ogre right behind you.
Age of Sigmar Warcry, Kharadron Overlords versus Ogor Mawtribes. Hey folks, welcome to another Warcry battle report between the steampunk dwarves and the always hungry ogres. We are going to play some old school Warcry today because I wanted to, and because the books that I have ordered for this game have yet to arrive at the time of recording this video. Also, this is the warband debut of the Kharadron Overlords, so please be nice if I screw up a rule with them. It is my first time. Enough of me jabbering on, let's introduce the armies and then flip some cards to see what is in store for this combat. For the Overlords and the Hammer, we have a Grundstock Fumigator and another one with the Aether Cannon. In the Hammer, we have the Mizzen Master, who is our leader, and an Engine Rigger Flyboy to back him up. And finally, in the Dagger, we have a pair of Arcanauts with the big Aethermatic Volley guns. Moving on to the Ogres, and this should be very quick, in the Hammer we have a Leadbelcher. Onto the Shield we have a Gnoblar, the Thunder Fist Leader, and another Leadbelcher. And finally, in the Dagger, you guessed it, we have a final Leadbelcher. Alright, so before a few of you yell at me, yes I did cheat. I put too many models in the Shield squad. Does this affect the total outcome of the game? Possibly. But honestly, if you can't get over that, then well, there are a few other battle reports that you can watch. In the meantime, hopefully you enjoy the video. For the cards, we will skip over terrain because I wanted to set up my own board on this new gaming mat I received from Skirmish Mats. If you are interested in picking one up with a nice discount, details are in the description. Here is all the terrain set up on the table. Alright, on to the rest of the cards. For deployment, we have Unseen Blade. The shields will appear on the battlefield turn 1, and the rest of the fighters will show up in the next round. For our victory card, we have Blunt, and not the one you're thinking of. The Kharadron Overlords will be the attacker in this scenario, and they need to take down the Ogor's shield by the end of battle round 4 to achieve victory. And finally, for the twist card, we have No Holding Back. This battle we will be adding 2 to some awesome abilities. With all of that out of the way, let us set up those fighters on the battlefield and roll some turn 1 initiative. We will start things off with the Overlords, who take their 66 and they end up rolling a double and a handful of singles. For the Ogors, they take their dice as well and roll up a couple doubles and a pair of singles. The Overlords have the initiative, and both warbands here will decide to not use any wild dice and save it up for next round. We will begin things with the KO leader, the Mizzen Master, who will move a little bit forward to just get in range of the weak Gnoblar and the Shield squad and attack from range. Hitting on 3s here, and he deals in 4 damage to the little guy. The leader will just end his turn using the Ancestral Fortitude ability, giving it a boost to its toughness for the rest of the round, and pass the turn on over to the Ogors. The opposing leader will go next and fire back at the Mizzen Master. 2 attacks will go in, hitting on 4s now because of the boosted defense, and the Leadbelcher fires in a casual 18 damage into the dwarf. Well, looks like we are learning these Ogors shoot pretty damn well. With that turn done, we move on to the Engine Rigger. This Sky Dwarf will fly over the smashed Sigmarite head and get into shooting range of the damaged Gnoblar. The Dwarf will attack in, hitting on 3s here, and is able to crit and deal another 4 damage, taking down a member of the Shield squad. This will end the turn for the Kharadron Overlords. To finish up the round, this last Leadbelcher is actually nervous getting into combat range of the Engine Rigger, so it will actually move backwards to get in the shooting range of the Ironclad Dwarf and fire a shot. Hitting on 3s here, the Sky Pirate only takes 3 points of damage, and that will end its turn and the round. A quick and simple first round of combat. And these Leadbelchers, they pack a huge punch from range, but can they hold off the Kharadron volley fire? We shall find out soon as we move into some round 2 initiative. The dwarfs once again roll first, and they end up getting a double and a set of singles. For the Ogor Mawtribes, they end up getting a triple, a double, and a single. The Sky Dwarves have the initiative, and they will make a double and a triple with their 2 wild dice, while the Ogors will make a quad and a triple with theirs. And let's not forget about the reinforcements. Both the Hammer and Dagger squad for both the Ogors and the Overlords are coming in this round. So without further ado, let's get things going. We now move on to turn 1, where the Mizzen Master will go first and fly on over behind the Leadbelcher leader, and then attack in at close range. Hitting on 3s here, the Ogor takes 9 damage, but before the leader ends his turn, he will use the Inspiring Presence triple on the nearby Engine Rigger, and the Kharadron Overlords will go again. This Engine Rigger will play smart and get into close combat of the nearby Leadbelcher, and once he gets in close, will attack in. Hitting on 3s here, and the Dwarf deals in 5 damage to the other Shield Squad member. But before this guy's turn is over, he will use the double for the Ancestral Fortitude ability, and then pass the turn on over to the Ogors. These Ogors need a hand here, and good thing they have their Leadbelcher pal nearby who will move into shooting range of the Engine Rigger and use the Thunderous Blast of Hot Metal quad ability. This gives the Ogor 3 more attacks and a big 8 strength firing into the flying hunk of metal. A shot is fired, hitting in on 3s, and the Ogor deals 15 damage, which was enough to take out the Engine Rigger. Nice shooting there, Tix. With a big turn for the Ogors, we move on over to the Grunstock Thunder with the big ol' Aether Cannon. This model is just in its 10-inch max range of the Ogre leader and will attack in. This monster cannon hits on 3s here and deals in a huge 16 damage, taking the Ogre leader down to just 15 health remaining. And the Dwarfs will then pass the turn on over. The Thunder Fist will take matters into his own hands and try to punch his way out of a bad situation. Attacking melee into the nearby Mizzen Master, hitting in on 4s, the first attack deals 6 damage, and the second does enough to take down another Flyboy. The leader will then use the triple ability Inspiring Presence on the nearby Leadbelcher that is yet to go this turn. Ready and excited to go, this Leadbelcher will attack into some puny Arcanaut company who are within his big cannon's range. Hitting on 3s here, the first attack deals in 6 damage, and the second just blasts the models away and off the battlefield. This will then end the Leadbelcher's turn. The other Arcanaut with the volley gun sees his pal die next to him and will fire lots of bullets back into the Ogor. Hitting on 5s here with 12 total attacks, the Leadbelcher takes 8 damage, and the Arcanaut's turn will end. With only 2 more fighters left on the board, not in attack range of anything, both the Leadbelcher and the Grunstock Thunder on the right side of your screen will double move and end their turns. After this, we will end Battle Round 2. Lots and lots of shooting and death this battle round. The Ogres still have 2 fighters from the Shield Squad still alive, but they both are heavily damaged. First turn here may be key to victory. So let's jump into some turn 3 initiative. For the Kharadron Overlords, we'll start things off, and they end up rolling a pair of doubles and a couple singles. For the Ogors, we get a triple and a few singles. They have the initiative, and they want that awesome quad. And for the Dwarves, they want the chance to go first, so they add another single. A roll-off will commence, and the Dwarves manage to win, and they will take first turn. The Grunstock Thunder with the big cannon will take 2 shots into the leader. Hitting on 3s here, and this cannon is just laying waste to the leader and deals in 20 damage, taking him out, leaving 1 fighter left in the Shield Squad for the Ogres. But this ends the turn for the Overlords. The other Leadbelcher from the Shield Squad does not like that little Arcanaut nearby and plans to change that. With 2 attacks, the Ogors will reload and fire. With the first attack, the Dwarf takes 6 damage, and the second does another 6, which was exactly what the Ogors needed, taking out another Dwarf model. We end the turn here and move over to the Fumigator, who will use the double rush ability and move an extra inch closer to the Ogor. With 4 inches of movement, this puts the Thunder in range for a single shot. Hitting on 3s here, the Dwarf gets an excellent roll and fires in 8 damage. The final Ogre only has 9 health left, but the Overlords are out of shots for the round. This Leadbelcher is just in range of the Fumigator and will use the quad ability Thunderous Blast of Hot Metal and fire 6 shots for the first attack. Hitting on 3s and with 12 damage on the first shot, it takes out the Fumigator. The model is removed from the board and the game has a chance to end right at this moment. One more Leadbelcher is just within its 10-inch range of the final Thunderer. With 6 total attacks and hitting in on 3s, once again, another exact 12 damage, and the dwarf is taken down. With no more fighters on the board for the Kharadron Overlords, they have no way to take down the enemy shield squad, so victory will go to the Ogor Mawtribes. It is a little unfortunate that a cannon full of spears and leg bones is stronger than most of the guns in the Kharadron Overlords army, but it was interesting to see 2 range-heavy lists go at it in the 8 points. This was actually my first time we had 2 shooting heavy lists on the channel, and I feel like it was a fun and quick game. Overall, I love my Ogors, and I was impressed with the Sky Dwarfs as well. We shall see these 2 warbands soon enough in a new battle report. If this is content you enjoy, make sure to check out the Patreon and stick around for the next Warcry battle report. I want to thank you all for watching, and of course, happy gaming.